Hello everyone, welcome to Something's Cooking with Alpa, and today I'm going to show you how to store tomatoes 4 different ways to make them last up to 6 months. So without any delay, let's look at the process. So first things first guys, let's start off by rinsing the tomatoes. Make sure that you wash them very thoroughly. Also guys, if you have a non-fruit vinegar or a white vinegar, then please take half cup of vinegar along with 2 cups of water and drown the tomatoes in that solution for about 15 minutes and then rinse them off. And once we are done with that, then let's dry them off by using a clean cloth or a paper towel and keep them aside. And once we are done drying off the tomatoes, then let's take one tomato at a time and let's remove the stem or the core of the tomatoes. And once you are done removing all the cores of all the tomatoes, then let's start with the first method of storing the tomato. The first method consists of making a cross cut on one side of the tomato, the opposite side of which where we removed the core, make a cross cut and then put them into hot boiling water. Now we are going to cook these tomatoes for about 2 minutes in this water, and once the skin starts peeling off, we are going to start removing the tomatoes. And once they are at room temperature, then let's start removing their skin, and then we are going to roughly chop them up and add them into a blender and make a fine puree out of it. And once the puree is ready, let's take a freezer friendly container and add about 1 cup of this puree into it, and we are going to store it in the freezer. 1 cup of puree consists of 2 to 3 tomatoes. And now let's start with the second method. So again we are going to make a cross cut at the opposite side of the core to all of the tomatoes. And once we are done with that, then let's take a Ziploc bag and add all the tomatoes in there. Once the tomatoes are in the Ziploc bag, then let's seal the Ziploc bag, keeping just a small opening open, good enough for us to add in a straw, and then let's suck out all that remaining air from it, and then very gently remove the straw and seal off that area as well. And let's keep this bag in the freezer and they will last up to 6 months. If you have to use 1 tomato, then remove 1 and follow the same process. So guys, for the third method, let's take a tomato and cut it into half, and then let's cut that half into half, giving us 4 veggies of a single tomato, and then let's store it in a freezer friendly container like so. Once the bottom of the container is completely filled, let's cover it up with a plastic wrap and add rest of the tomato veggies on top. Once full, let's cover it up and keep it in the freezer. And now guys, let's look at the fourth method. Here I'm chopping up the tomatoes into small cubes. Once we have all the tomatoes chopped up, then we are going to take a ice cube tray and add the tomato cubes into the tray. And once the tray is filled, let's seal it off by using a plastic wrap, and then let's keep it in the freezer. So guys, the very next day I'm removing the tomatoes from the plastic bag or the Ziploc bag. And as you can see, they are nicely frozen. So let's just add them into the water for about 10-15 seconds, and then we will be able to peel off their skin very easily. Once we finish peeling off the skin, then we can just cut them up and add them into a blender and make a fine puree and use it for all kinds of vegetables and dals. And now it's time for us to remove the tray in which we had kept up the diced up tomatoes. Let's unwrap And let's take a container which is freezer friendly, and let's add these diced up tomato cubes into that container. And once we are done with that, then let's cover the lid and store it in the freezer for the next 6 months. So I hope this video was informative and useful to you, and if you did like this video, then don't forget to click on the subscribe button. And if you did like this video, there are other links which you do not want to miss, so do click on those, and I'll see you very soon. Meanwhile, you take care. Bye bye.